Hi, I'm Ian Fraser, lead designer on Kingdoms of Amalur Reckoning.
And I'm Joe Codera, lead combat designer.
Today we're very excited to show you something that's previously only been shown behind closed doors, our E3 demo of Reckoning. We're here at the Baltimore office, Big Huge Games, and we're going to show you kind of an assortment of different things from the game. Now, one of the tricky things about a game like Reckoning is that it's huge. This is a massive open world RPG that features in-text action combat fused to a backbone of hardcore RPG systems. That's a lot of different stuff going on, a lot of different places. So it's really hard to show it all in a quick demo. So before we jump into the live portion of the demo, we're first going to show you a video reel that features some of the different systems and locations, just bits and bobs within the game, to hopefully give you a little bit better sense of scope. Now, my usual disclaimer up front, everything you're about to see is pre-alpha software, so we still have months of debugging and polishing left ahead of us. Nonetheless, we're really excited about where we're at, and we want to show it to you. So let's roll the clip. Reckoning begins with you gasping for air as you crawl your way out of a pile of corpses. You soon learn that you've died, and you're the first person to be successfully resurrected by this arcane machine called the Well of Souls. Now somehow your mysterious death and resurrection have torn you free from the tapestry of fate, granting you the unique ability to forge your own destiny and change the fates of those around you. Now, like most RPGs, one of the first things you'll do is customize your character. You can choose your gender and pick from 4 different races, and then you can customize your appearance. You can pick from a preset look, or you can choose from dozens of different options of face shapes and hairstyles, skin tones, tattoos, piercings, you name it, to get exactly the look that you want for your character. Reckoning features a truly massive open world to explore, with 5 different geographic regions, each with its own unique look and feel, in addition to a number of villages and cities, each full of characters with their own daily lives, routines, and schedules. Everything has its own style and look, and we have over 120 handcrafted dungeons, no two alike. In addition to the main quest that begins with your rebirth, Reckoning features a number of different faction lines, in fact 6 different factions you can join, each with their own extensive stories to pursue and to enjoy. We also have literally hundreds of different side quests, each of which can be performed myriad different ways, ranging from the straightforward to the downright criminal.
Friend, do you know the cost? You there! Halt!
The combat in Reckoning is something else we're very proud of. It's fast, fluid, and intense. It's very responsive, it's very dynamic, you have the sense of weight and heft to everything you do. It's intense action combat, but all built on a solid foundation of crunchy advancement systems and player choice. We also have a very robust loot system, featuring countless affixed items that can be generated. That's where you get your flaming helm of the wombat, as well as literally hundreds of handcrafted unique items with their own lore, art, and of course, stats. Let's say you don't like the loot that's dropping. That's okay, you can make your own. We have 3 different crafting systems in Reckoning. First, alchemy, which lets you make potions using reagents you'll harvest throughout the world. Next, blacksmithing, my personal favorite, which lets you salvage components from weapons and armor that you don't want, and then use those components to craft new equipment that you do want. Meanwhile, sagecraft lets you fuse together shards of magic crystal to make gems. Gems can then be socketed into your weapons and armor to enchant them. Now, there are more skills in Reckoning than just the crafting systems. In fact, we have 9 different non-combat skills. One of them, Detect Hidden, lets you find secret doors, treasures, and ambushes scattered throughout the world of Amalur. Meanwhile, Dispelling lets you turn off magical traps called wards without them blowing up in your face or giving you a curse. Pretty handy skill to have.
Please.
Meanwhile, Persuasion unlocks a variety of dialogue options throughout the game, either giving you alternate paths through quests or giving you better rewards at the end of those quests. Meanwhile, Stealth lets you do that, which is awesome. Stealth also opens up a variety of different crime activities you can perform in the game, from pickpocketing to trespassing in places where you don't belong. Reckoning has over 60 abilities to choose from every time you level up, spread across the might, finesse, and sorcery trees. Which abilities you choose to invest in defines your moment-to-moment combat experience. These abilities range from passive benefits to unlockable weapon attacks like this one, to flesh-melting spells that let you rain fire from the sky. Now, which abilities you invest in matters, not just in terms of the abilities themselves, obviously, but also in terms of what destinies you'll unlock. Destinies are a sort of form of dynamic character class in Reckoning. See, in most RPGs, you start off, and before you really know what you're doing, you have to say, I'm going to be a warrior. And I hope you chose well, because you got dozens of hours of that left ahead of you. In Reckoning, we wanted to get around that problem, and the Destiny system is how we do that. So you start the game off, and you are both fictionally and systemically a blank slate with no destiny at all. As you get through the early parts of the game, you get to try out being a warrior, being a rogue, being a mage, and throwing a fireball, see what that feels like. And after you've gotten some sense of that, you'll level up for the first time and start investing points in those 3 trees. Based on where you invest the points, you're going to unlock destinies. And a destiny is more or less a class that you can equip and take upon yourself. And over the course of the game, as you continually make decisions over the course of leveling up and invest points in different things, you unlock more and more destinies. So you can constantly be changing your course in the build and design of your character over the course of the entire play experience. Now we're going to hop into the live portion of our demo. The part we're jumping into here specifically is an area of the story involving the Warsworn, one of those 6 joinable factions that I mentioned. Now the Warsworn are a simple group of mercenaries, warriors for hire. But you learn early on in the story that they weren't always simple mercenaries. In fact, they were founded as a quasi-religious order, a group of warriors dedicated to hunting down vile creatures of pure chaos called Niskaru. Now the Niskaru have been gone for hundreds of years and believed to be extinct, but you also learn early on that that's not the case. They're back, and they're back in force. And a lot of the Warsworn faction revolves around finding out what's going on with those Niskaru and getting rid of them. So we're just going to hop real quick through character creation here. Just choose some presets. Alright, so here we've hopped into Brigand's Hall, a cave where we find these bandits we've been following. And we're starting to get bits of hints that there's more than banditry going on here, that the Niskaru have actually taken root in this cave, but we don't really know any more than that, so we're going to investigate.
See the bodies up ahead? Thieves, most likely. If it was these poor fools that brought the Niskaru, they got what they deserved. Doesn't seem likely, though.
Alright, so before we do too much more with the Niskaru, we're first going to loot, because that's what we do.
See what this guy's got. Sky Blossom.
Alright, some alchemy action happening.
Guess
Okay.
he was picking flowers in the woods.
You know, like you do when you're a bandit. And over here we're going to see another little bit of our loot system that we're especially fond of, and it's the collectible armor sets. So as you can see, we're wearing this matching set of armor. It's actually the armor of Helios, the sun god. Pretty cool stuff. By grabbing this helmet here, we're actually completing the set. Each piece we get from that set, we can just compare that, yeah. As we get more and more pieces from a set, we get a larger and larger bonus. So with the helmet, we finally get the maximum bonus and the whole shebang. Also, we look cooler. Now one of the neat things about our loot system, and this is a minor note, but we like to mention it, you'll notice we didn't go into our inventory screen there. We actually can loot items directly, or even equip items directly from the loot UI. I'm lying because Joe loves the inventory screen. No, you actually can compare and equip and even junk items directly from the loot UI. Up ahead, you see some cultists. What's up with these guys?
What's this? Bloody mages. Not Balin's testament either. Regardless, they must be the ones behind these Niskaru. That means they've got Warsworn blood on their hands.
Now, one of the interesting things about the dialogue system in Reckoning, we realize that some players really don't care about dialogue. They really don't want to talk to the characters. They want to get back to the action and start lopping off heads. That's okay. Because of that, we take our quest critical lines, like behind the Niskaru here, we highlight them in blue and we throw them to the top of the list. So it's immediately obvious and easy how to just progress and get back at a dialogue if that's not what you're into. If, however, you do want to delve deeper into the characters and the lore of the world, we always have a variety of info topics below where you can do just that. And if you dig into those, you'll unlock more and more, and you can find out more about the world around you.
The shortest path to a Niskaru is with chaos magic. Powerful chaos magic. And to keep it from turning around and mauling you, more powerful magic still.
Now, just past our buddy Ost here, we're going to see a number of cultists who are holding Niskaru within magical barriers in an attempt to tame them. Generally not the best idea. Now, our buddy Ost would very much like us to kill them, and we're happy to oblige.